This video is your Dragon of Icespire Peak DM guide for the town of Phandalin in the D&D Essentials Kit. Hi, Bob here, and welcome to Bob World Builder, the D&D channel where we improve our games together. Subscribe for new videos every Wednesday under your subscriptions tab. There are now over 1,000 people subscribed to this channel, so I wanted to give a quick thanks to awesome folks like you who comment and like and share these videos. I owe all the success to you. And a few of you requested a Phandalin DM guide, so here we go. Phandalin is a frontier town in the Sword Coast region of Faerun, the Forgotten Realms setting where just about everything in D&D 5e is based. In the first chapter of Dragon of Icespire Peak, Phandalin is ironically described as a nondescript mining settlement nestled in the foothills of the Sword Mountains, but it's much more than that. Hundreds of years ago, Phandalin was bustling with humans, dwarves, and gnomes until, you guessed it, orcs attacked and nearly wiped it off the map. But in recent years, brave settlers from northern cities like Waterdeep and Neverwinter have been drawn by stories of riches in the Sword Mountains. Phandalin is a small hub of civilization in the Wild West of D&D, and this frontier motif makes it a familiar setting that is loaded with adventure for new and experienced players. The Welcome to Phandalin box text says that there are about 50 simple buildings in town, so we can assume a low population, maybe 100 to 300 people who would know each other fairly well. And you can encourage your players to create local pioneering characters, farmers, smiths, hunters, and traders, strong folk who are prepared to face danger if it means protecting everything they've struggled to rebuild. That said, outsiders are welcome too. All of Phandalin's adult residents migrated there, so unlike most small towns where sword-carrying strangers might be feared, Phandalin's town hall even has a job board for adventurers, and that's where your party will be finding most of their quest hooks. Such visitors, and locals who enjoy a drink, will be familiar with the Stone Hill Inn. With modest accommodations, each of its 6 rooms can be rented at 5 silver pieces per night, and any single meal costs 1 silver piece. But feel free to let your PCs purchase better or worse room and board based on the food, drink, and lodgings table on page 45 of the Essentials Kit rulebook. You can even create your own inns and add them to the town. The owner, Toblin Stonehill, is described as a short, friendly male human from the nearby town of Tribor who couldn't cut it here as a gold prospector. For more thorough physical descriptions and personality traits, I recommend npcgenerator.com. Not a sponsor, but check out the link below or my session prep video in the cards for info about how to use it. Finally, Toblin can share 1 or more rumors from the Phandalin Tales table to get your adventure moving. And this is great because starting campaigns in a tavern full of rumors is a cliche because it's an awesome way to go. But toward the end of the video, I'll share why this might not be the best idea. The next most important buildings are Barthen's Provisions and the Lion Shield Coster. The first is a general store where characters can purchase any simple goods under 25 gold pieces. So that's everything on the page 43 adventuring gear table except Tinker's Tools, Bagpipes, Lutes, Lyres, Spellbooks, and Healing Potions, which they can only receive from a Dabra Gwyn of the Umbrage Hill quest. Elmar Barthen, a lean and balding man in his 50s, runs the place with 2 young clerks, Onder and Thistle. It's up to you whether those 2 are kids or young adults, Barthen's children or just neighbors, a bashful young couple, or friendly rivals constantly trying to outwork each other. Though I fully recommend running them like Dante and Randall from the movie Clerks, perpetually debating and musing over both existential and entirely mundane topics. And the second of those stores, the Lion Shield Coster, is a weapons trading post of a faraway merchant company, the Lion Shields, where the PCs can buy anything in the weapons table on page 42. However, its, quote, sharp-tongued proprietor, Lenine Greywind, a human in her 30s, won't sell weapons to anyone she perceives as a threat to the town. A good policy for all shopkeepers. Next, the Phandalin Miners Exchange is where your party can appraise and sell gems, precious metals, and most other loot. This place is intriguing because the master, Halia Thornton, is secretly an agent of Faerun's biggest thieves guild, the Zentarim, and she's trying to gradually gain power and influence in Phandalin. So she could also act as a moneylender or an insurance agency, and if your group can handle it, you could even have Halia invite your party's rogue to join the Zentarim with a secret message in Thieves' Cant. The Shrine of Luck is a simple stone shrine to Timora, the Forgotten Realms' goddess of good fortune. and the caretaker is, well, written to be out of town for the duration of this adventure, but I recommend including a low-level cleric here if your party doesn't already have one. Or if you do, consider making this temple dedicated to their deity, or their deity's rival in the pantheon. And the Town Master's Hall. This is where the mayor-ish leader of Phandalin, Harbin Wester, should conduct business, but instead, the pompous middle-aged banker hides in his home from the White Dragon, only leaving to buy food and post new jobs at the hall. It's a great ongoing gag that your party should never see Harbin, but he will speak to visitors by yelling through his door and pay them by slipping gold pieces out one at a time. Now, the book says to present your party with all 3 starter quests on the job board, but if you've seen my other guides, you know I recommend Umbrage Hill first, and even that has some tweaks to keep your party alive. Ultimately, you want to give your players freedom of choice, but you also want to know where they're going before you play so you can give them a fun and engaging session. Sandbox versus Railroad. The solution? A sandbox on rails, where you provide player options with fairly predictable outcomes. It is not a coincidence that Umbrage Hill is basically on the way to Dwarven Excavation and Nomengard. And as Dungeon Master, you can literally put it in the way, so even though your party wanted to see those gnomes first, are your heroes really going to ignore Adabra Gwyn's pleas for help while the Manticore breaks down the door to her windmill? Maybe. Just be careful with that random rumors table, because your party might end up going right for the level 3 Tower of Storms location. After their first few adventures, the quest order is more important for your ability to prep than the party's safety. Now, if only there were a collection of short DM guide videos to help you prepare, and edited down gameplays of each quest to see them in action. So check out my guides and gameplays. Thank you again for subscribing, and keep building.